So, Excellencies, climate change is stealing the food of Africa's table. Let me repeat that. Climate change is stealing the food of Africa's table. Africa is ground zero of the climate breakdown. But for the leaders in the global north, Prime Minister Ruto, Akinwumi, Lord Cameron, what happens in Africa will not stay in Africa. All of us can win if we invest in Africa. 2 years ago in Glasgow, and also welcome Fiji, Africa put the Africa Adaptation Acceleration Program on the table, the AAAP. And again, just to recall, it is the world's single largest adaptation program on the table, Africa-led, Africa-owned. And now, 2 years later, AAAP is delivering. Nearly $7 billion of investments already shaped, 150 million Africans more climate resilient, 630,000 new jobs created, President Adesina, thanks to you. More than half of the countries in Africa are participating. 2 short years. A lot achieved, but so much to be done. Look around this room. Bill Gates, Prime Minister Ruto, President Adesina, Lord Cameron, Akinwumi, and on and on and on. This room is filled with ambition. Not just ambition, bold ambition. The fierce urgency of now. Facing the greatest challenge there is. But this is my bottom line. This is our bottom line. Africa is doing without 90% of the resources it needs to adapt. And let's not forget, you, Bill Gates, you told us 5 years ago, adaptation is about jobs, is about health, is about innovation. Adaptation, you said, is the growth story of the 21st century, but we're not capitalizing on this opportunity yet. In a world we know plagued with multiple crises, the question is this: how can we manage to double down on adaptation? Let me offer 3 solutions. 1, in Glasgow 2 years ago, we all committed on a doubling of finance flows for adaptation. Countries need to follow the trailblazers in this room to double down on that as well and make good on these pledges. African leaders, and we will be joined soon by the President of Senegal, the President of Kenya, the President of Tanzania, and the President of Comoros, they have come here with their compacts, AAAP compacts. What is that? An investment roadmap on adaptation. They are committing, and they offer great investment opportunities for all of us. The fierce urgency of now. Second, the private sector is MIA in Africa on adaptation. MIA, missing in action. This has to change. And I'm here to tell you that it can. We have to break the next frontier to bring the private sector in. Because, President Adesina, if private finance can be 40% of adaptation flows in Asia, it definitely should be 40% and not 10 of today in Africa. The fierce urgency of now. And my third message, access and innovation in finance. Countries, of course, need access. Communities need access. And we have to innovate. Adaptation cannot add more debt to debt-stressed economies. We need debt swaps, not debt traps. The fierce urgency of now. But the good news is this: we can do all these things. You know why? Because we already are. but not at the speed and scale required. And that is why we're here today. Because it takes what? It takes leadership. And what leadership, ladies and gentlemen, we have here with us today in this room. Starting with my big brother, my close friend, the driving force behind Africa as a climate-resilient powerhouse, President Akinwumi Adesina, President of the African Development. The floor is yours, sir.